Hey YouTube, it's Angela. So we're going to talk about anger today. Not just anger, but wrath. The resentment that builds within you when anger is present and then unchecked or unresolved or unprocessed, that, excuse me, that resentment could turn into like revenge and it could just take you down a path that you don't really want to be on. So yes, the first card I pulled is from a new deck that I love. This is called the Urban Crow Oracle. Really cool. The author tells a lot of stories about her observations of crows and their behaviors. And so the card here I pulled is Wrath. This is when they're in a frenzy and she tells a story how she heard all this commotion and all the crows outside and saw a raccoon had killed a baby crow. That's sometimes in nature, that's how things go. But then all the crows just came out in defense and in anger with their wrath toward this raccoon who was like clinging to a tree and in fear. So the anger, this is a powerful, powerful energy. And this could either be something that's building up inside of you or coming at you from another source, right? This is unchecked anger, unresolved anger that could, form itself within your being as resentment, or within another if they're very angry and have a lot of sources of anger, and then the resentment starts growing. Why do I have to feel this way? It's not my fault that so-and-so made me mad, whatever, like all the things we tell ourselves to try to get out of that energy. And it could lead to revenge if it's unexamined and if we don't process it. So how do we deal with our anger? How do we deal with our wrath and those feelings of I just want to get back at them? Right? We've all been there. We've all done it. So that's an interesting opening card. I'm pulling Zen cards, tarot cards, to clarify these and sort of ground them in their energy as well. So I'll do those as I pull the 5 oracles that I pulled. I'll also share the clarifying tarot cards. And so with this energy of wrath, and we've all felt this coming at us or rising up within us. We've all felt it before, that frenzy, right? The card, one of the Zen cards I pulled to go with it is projections. Whoops. This is when that energy is present within you or within another, right? A lot of times, like we said, when that anger turns into the resentment, then we want to land it on someone. Then we want to, rid ourselves of this discomfort and put someone else to blame, put someone else in the place of, have them be the recipient of our wrath. And that is, we know that that's not going to lead us anywhere good or anywhere aligned at all. So love that. I love how projections came up with it, because this is what we do. I'm feeling these big feelings. They're so powerful. I don't know what to do with them. So let me just find a source of blame for those feelings. When the feelings are yours, they've been yours all along. They're yours to process, not to, float them out to someone else. Same thing if it's coming at you, right? We felt that, right? That wrath. And then people are just giving us, all of their angry energy as if we want to receive it, but as if we are a solution to diffusing it, which almost always is never the case. Almost never is the case, I guess I should say. So the projections came up in perfect timing with the Wrath card. And then with that, I pulled Trust. Now that's a big leap, right? I'm feeling all this anger. I'm feeling really resentful and I want to seek revenge, and I want that. And, we're in this energy, which is taking us outside of ourselves. And then we're asked to settle back in and trust and just know that this is playing out the way it's supposed to. So kind of hard. This is kind of a leap, but at least have the willingness to develop trust, or to, have, a sliver of trust that we could at least, hang on to as we begin to process this interaction or this anger that's swelling up or whatever that is. Just know that it's not going to stay that way, and that we will work our way through it, and we will come to the other side. But staying in it and really targeting that source of revenge, or letting the resentment get fueled up by even more anger, and that's not the path. And we know that, right? But it doesn't mean we're not going to feel it. It doesn't mean it's not going to arise. So how do we manage it once it does? Okay. So that we've established. Our next card is fog. We don't know the answers all the time. If we're caught up in this anger energy, this energy of resentment and revenge, it's not easy to see, oh, everything's going to be okay soon. We don't see it. We're embroiled in that energy. So this is just a reminder that the confusion or the uncertainty that you have right now, first of all, don't make decisions from that energy. Don't make any, especially if, it's particularly intense and coming at you or rising up in you. Like I said, this is not a time to make decisions or take action yet, right? This is sort of the confusion is the universe's way of injecting a pause in there for you, and then saying the answer isn't clear. You don't have to know. And it's almost like it's just, part of the cycle. But it's almost like we can make a decision to be confused. How's that? Own your confusion. Own it. If, for the time being, it's not going to stay, right? It will transform. But don't make decisions to take action against the anger or regarding the anger or at the other because you have anger toward them. Don't make decisions in that way, but make the decision to be confused about it. Make the decision or acknowledge, I don't know right now. I don't know how to proceed. That's okay, right? This is kind of slowing down that chain reaction of emotions and decisions and actions that a lot of us take when things are heated, when things are fluffed up and really difficult. So make a conscious effort to not know. I don't know right now how to proceed. Doesn't mean it will stay that way, right? Because as the fog, it will clear eventually. The sun will come through and bring clarity. So it's just waiting for that right timing. And then, of course, the Zen cards, they're just exact. I got receptivity and patience. So staying open to the fact that you're confused, that you don't know the way out yet. This anger energy hasn't settled. And so it's time to not know how to proceed yet. Staying open to that fact, staying open to any signals that come through from the universe or from another person or from within your own source, your own spirit, little signals that come through to help navigate or, transform your way past this, state of confusion or this foggy existence where the answer isn't clear right now. One thing we do know, if you continue with this and get caught up and make the decision to stay in the anger, you will not transform it anytime soon, right? If you're the type of person that, lets the steam off and then you're okay, that's fine. But others may not process the same way. So there's still going to be kind of a waiting period. So own that unknown, own it, be comfortable with it. It won't stay that way. Okay. And that's where the patience card comes up. Have patience with yourself, with the universe, with the process and the way things are playing out. The patience kind of goes along with the trust to me. because, you know, as this woman is sitting under the cycle of the moon, she doesn't really have to know every single phase and, oh, now it's, you know, waning, now it's waxing, now it's gibbous. We don't have to know every single phase in order to know that the moon will play through every phase and become new again and become full again. We don't have to be involved in every single transition in order to acknowledge the transformation. It will happen. And that's part of where the trust comes in. Just know it's playing out. It's transforming for you. Then it's interesting, after the fog card, I pulled tree. We know this is grounding. This is literally being a grounded dreamer. This is that the way the tree, you know, creates a balance between earth and the sky and heaven and the universe, however, whatever word you use for that higher consciousness. The tree represents that in full, right? Remain grounded, remain rooted in this earthly plane, and aspire for more spiritually. And so it's both allowing the fog to be there and feeling your feet on the ground, knowing I will remain here until the alignment, you know, until the clarity comes, right? I will remain here aligned until the clarity comes. This gives you a scattered energy. You know, there's no way someone can be calm in the midst of anger or wrath. It's unless you're not in touch with your feelings, I guess, sociopath or something. But that creates a scattered energy. And what do I do with it? What do I do with it? And we've already established the answer is nothing yet. Be comfortable with the unknown. And then at whatever point you can, when you feel your feet on the ground and know you're still connected to source above you, that helps to settle that scattered energy a little bit. This is, you know, not engaging with the source of the wrath, or not allowing in your own spirit for that anger to build up. Just get grounded. Even if it's just, I'm going to pause now to regain my alignment. You can even just say it like that. Or you could go and get grounded, go out and do some earthing, or be with a tree and make sure that you feel the solid presence and the support of the universe in the form of the earth. That's where you find your stability. And then make sure that you, you know, return to your body. Sometimes our minds and our imagination takes us off in directions that we don't necessarily want to travel. So in that process of the unknown, return to your body and feel the physical and the stable energy that's present there as you are connected to the earth. You know, when we disconnect from our body with like mental energies or anxiety, worrying about the future, or guilt, or, you know, resenting the past or being upset about that, that is a disconnection from body. And when you're disconnected from your body, you're disconnected from the earth, right? And so in this process and in this quest that we have to become grounded dreamers, that first step of returning to body, especially after a situation such as this wrath brings, is an important step to gaining your clarity. And of course, the Zen cards, when I was pulling these out, so I pulled out all the oracles, and then I just started pulling out the Zens, and they, you know, I moved them a little bit because they matched up with each energy on their own. Sometimes I pull them out in order, but this time I just pulled a big pile of them, and then they all just fit perfectly with each oracle. So I love that. I love how different facets of my intuition as I'm pulling serve the reading, right? So with the grounding energy, what did I pull except, you know, moment to moment? This guy is walking along a very active river, Rainbow River, but he's still grounded. He's grounded. He's standing on the boulder. Eyes are closed. He's proceeding to navigate all the waters and all the energy that's moving around him with his feet directly under him. This is an energetic energetic quality that keeps us, stable in this very moment. And then when it's time to make a move, you move into the next one. So this is your sort of get grounded into your body, and then also get grounded into time, into this moment, this next 10 minutes, and then move into the next hour or whatever, right? It's getting grounded in time as well. And that's an important quality of slowing down, so that when things feel disruptive, or if this wrath isn't quite settled yet, you still can gain, your own alignment and stay attuned to what's right for you. And then also with that grounding card, I pulled friendliness. I mean, trees, hello. And this is that that quality of remaining focused on your own, right? The pink tree and the yellow tree are each very firm, rooted down to their roots. Yellow roots, pink roots, very, very solid in their standing. And then they merge in the middle. And where they merge, it's a little orange, right? Their branches are connecting, but it's not a takeover of one or the other's energy. This could be a returning to balance with the source of that wrath, whether it was the wrath coming at you, another person, or the wrath building up within you. And this could represent a balance within you that allows that the wrath was there, but I'm not going to let it take over me. I'm going to stay rooted into my own energy and realize that this anger and this resentment is a passing energy, and we don't have to cling on to it in order to proceed. Then we start to open up to our higher chakras. And so we're grounded, we're rooted, we have this alignment, we have some balance. We've returned to some balance as we return to our body. And then I pulled curiosity. This is a real opening up of the mind and of the higher chakras, opening up that energy to, it reminds me of the receptivity, but this is more of a receiving it. And this is more of an actively seeking solutions, connection, answers, new ways to process this wrath and anger. Stay open. And, curiosity leads to understanding. So if you remain curious and keep working through the energies that are there and find your way to, to a solution, whatever that may be, but remaining curious about it. It does not have to be resolved in the same way you've always done it, right? Because maybe that keeps the anger energy around longer. Maybe you hang on to it for a minute before you can think it through and process it. And then, a month later or whatever, you're processing it out. This is there's an open and spacious quality to this energy that keeps us evolving, right? Curiosity leads to understanding, whether that is understanding the other or understanding how that anger resides within you. And as it builds up and turns into resentment or revenge, how that can truly affect your alignment and your own well-being more than anyone else, right? With the curiosity card, I pulled possibilities. This is one of my favorites. You know that. This is a very open and spacious vibration. This compares the viewpoint or the outlook of, say, like the little mouse that lives way down there in the field, and he sees a few blades of grass and a cricket and a flower. That's its entire existence. That's its whole world. That's all it knows. When what we want to do, and we can stay that in that smaller energy, we can remain there. The anger. I'm going to sit in this. This is all I know. This is all I know right now, is that I have anger, right? But being willing to open up your channels and reach for more and seek the understanding of how these emotions take over. in any situation is really important. And so we compare our viewpoint from the field mouse, or the little creature that's down on the ground with its entire world being this big, right, to the eagle, who gets to soar way above the landscape and see all the ways things might work, and be willing. That goes right along with the curiosity card. Be willing to, explore a new region of your energy, or find a new solution to resolve this anger once and for all, whatever. But it's that open, spacious feeling that we want to seek. And then in turn, it has a healing effect. This is your fully aligned self here. This is, intuition, heart, and soul, and, body, mind, spirit, however you want to word that. But the alignment is what's important. And the focus and the emphasis on the heart space is really important. That's where healing happens, right? It's where it begins, and it is where it gets to be fully realized, is within the heart space. So love that. And now we have one more set here. I know this reading is a little bit long, but after the curiosity card, I pulled new vision. So now you get, you have the experience of moving through the anger, the resentment, the revenge, whatever that wrathful energy was, being willing to not know the answer, but also acknowledging that returning to your body, returning to your groundedness is the way forward. That is where the answer will be found. Once you're grounded, you get to seek other ways of resolving, this conflict or this anger energy. It could also mean that just in the process of taking the time to be comfortable with the unknown, and then taking the time to be grounded, creates enough time and space from that initial point of anger. It removes you from that dust up enough to feel separate from it and be a solution seeker, right? With the curiosity card on deck there. So the new vision now allows you to point your toes in a new direction down your path. It allows you to see it differently. We saw all the possibilities of how to proceed, and now we get to commit to it and move forward with a refreshed viewpoint, hopefully with no residual anger present. And then, the moving forward is very, very key. And I want to say too, so one of the cards I pulled with it is inner voice. And I've pulled this before, and this is a highly intuitive card, with the central figure here having another being in its third eye, and then that being has an opening in the crown chakra, which kind of reminds me of the receptivity card. It's all following your organic nudges. What is my best way? But remember, this is after you've created a grounding energy. But I love it because this new vision, you see that this is kind of the first time I've seen that on this card, first time I've noticed it. Her third eye is highlighted there. And that's the energy of this card. Follow your inner being, follow your inner voice, how to proceed, either to move yourself completely away from the wrath, or to realize this process and the way that we've moved through these cards is another way to approach the anger, and it could create new outcomes, new ways. And maybe if anger and wrath comes upon you again, you can sidestep it, or you can find a way to remove yourself from that energy before it takes over, right? Before the crows start all around your head. And then the final card that goes with the new vision and the inner voice is rebirth. This is it. This is that new, fresh perspective, that, beginner's mind that we all strive for, to continually be open to having a beginner's mind. I will learn from this. Yeah, I felt it. I felt my frustration within me. I felt it building up, and I allowed myself to be unsure of how to process it until I got grounded. I returned it to body. And so that whole journey creates a new self, a new facet of yourself, a new phase in your experience. And that caps off that reading. I love it. This is very good guidance for all of us when we go through some intense interactions or even intense energies building up within us. So apply it if you may, if you can. And yeah, I love it. Thanks, you guys, and I will see you soon.